No, sorry to interrupt. I just, while we have you, you know, we're showing the stock right now of Gap and Adidas, and their Gap got hurt today on that news. And in general, it's been a struggling retailer. They lost the CEO, Sonia Singhal, the one who you, I believe, made the deal with to begin with, and they're trying to stabilize the overall business. You've always liked this company, and you talked about how you had high hopes for the partnership. Do you think that Gap can ever sort of regain its cool again and be a big player?
They only have one opportunity to be able to be a big player. What do you think it is?
I feel like you're not happy with them today, so you're not going to be too optimistic.
No, I'm saying they have one individual on the planet that could save the Gap. And that individual.
Hey man, stay safe world. You already know what's going on. We got to talk about the situation with YEEZY, Gap, and Kanye West. It was announced today, September 15th. You know, 2022 is the end, the official end of the YEEZY Gap partnership, man. We're gonna get right into it, but before we do, I'm gonna need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, and we're gonna run this up. So basically, today started with crazy news with Kanye West basically terminating the deal with Gap. In a quote that he says, "A king can't live in someone else's castle." Kanye basically said on Thursday the reason behind terminating the contract between his company YEEZY and Gap is because of the fact that YEEZY was not able to have its own separate store by Gap, and Gap didn't meet the actual deadlines that they were supposed to actually have the YEEZY items in their own separate location. And on top of that, it's basically tanked their whole fucking, like, their whole stock market price got tanked today because of the news with Kanye, which is honestly pretty crazy. And he even said it in an interview that he was the only person that could save Gap. But is there any way that they can make a comeback or something like that? It's not looking likely. But the move comes after Gap failed to meet its obligations in the company's agreement, including distributing YEEZY products in its stores by the second half of 2021 and creating dedicated YEEZY Gap stores, according to a letter shared by his lawyer with CNBC. Shares of the retailer fell nearly 4% on Thursday. That's crazy. YEEZY notified Gap of its concerns in August and gave the company a contractually designated 30 days to cure its breaches. I don't know if y'all remember, but Kanye went on that whole rant on Twitter where he said RIP to like all these places and was trying to get Gap to actually go. He said that he had an issue on Twitter, and I guess he had an issue with Adidas, but then he actually was able to meet some type of agreement with Adidas and keep going. But he basically indicated at the end of his contract, the contractual obligations, he's gonna definitely go independent. And it looks like the YEEZY like glasses are the first thing that he's making to go independent. But basically, Kanye says it was a dream of mine to be at the Gap and to bring the best product possible, Ye told CNBC's Closing Bell. Obviously, there's always struggles back and forth when you're trying to build something new and integrate teams. Ye said he wasn't able to set the prices he wanted on his products, and he didn't approve of the color selections. It was very frustrating. It was very disheartening because I just put everything I had. I put all my top relationships. Our agenda, it wasn't aligned. But the main thing that I think he was messed up about was he was dissatisfied with the progress on launching the physical YEEZY stores in partnership with the retailer. Everyone knows that I'm the leader of the king. I'm the king. A king can't let someone live in someone else's castle. A king has to have his own castle. Basically, Gap and Kanye, like Kanye wanted Gap to have its own sort of collab in its own brick and mortar like building for YEEZY, which is definitely a step away from everything else. He was trying to separate it from the whole brand and make it like a collab entity, which is pretty smart. And if they had done that, it could have probably been the biggest collab. Honestly, look at YEEZY, like the original shoes that Adidas did. Like that really came out so good that they had to make replicas of his shit, you know? But basically, Ye will now promptly move forward to make up for lost time by opening YEEZY retail stores. Like, Gap CEO Mark Breitbart confirmed in a memo to employees that the retailer would wind down his partnership with YEEZY. And like, he had his own statement. He said, "We share his vision of bringing a high quality, trend forward, utilitarian design to people through our unique omni experience with YEEZY Gap. How we work together to deliver this vision is not aligned," Breitbart said in a memo, a copy which was seen at CNBC. the retailer still plans to work through its YEEZY product pipeline and sort of still like work with it somehow. Man, it's super sad that this didn't even come out this way. I mean, following its launch, Wells Fargo predicted that the partnership could bring in $1 billion in sales in the first year, but Gap has been struggling with slumping sales in August and slashed its financial outlook. The company acknowledged missteps with its Old Navy chain and has been looking for a new leader since the CEO left in July. And then like, that is one of the major issues that he had, because of the previous CEO of Gap was actually the person that Kanye made his agreement with, and that person leaving left this dude Breitbart, and Breitbart basically, like, I don't know what his deal is, but he doesn't really see the same vision as Kanye, or maybe he just doesn't see it's possible, because it's like obvious that he would make hella money doing it, especially since they predicted $1 billion worth of sales with Wells Fargo. That it makes no sense why they shouldn't be like investing in Kanye, you know? It only would make sense, especially because his clothing and everything that he does is ahead of his time, cutting edge. So it's just, they're really shooting themselves in the foot doing this shit. But, you know, that's how these corporations act, and they're still stuck in the old way. You know, that's how they always are, whether it be record labels, corporations, and stuff like that. They're always stuck in the old way of doing things. They never want to try to take risks. Granted, it is $1 billion worth of risk, you know, but in the end, it's going to pay off, and it's probably going to be better than what you have now. No one really cared about Gap for like years. Even when people did care about Gap, they really didn't care about Gap like that. So it's like, now that there was actually people looking at Gap, feeling some type of way, it's just kind of sad that they didn't get the retail stores, because it would have been super big, honestly. Look at the Yeezy shoes at Adidas, but if it was in its own store, that shit would have been crazy. But man, let me know what y'all think about this situation, man. Let me know if y'all think that it's unfair what Gap did, or they were just being old heads, or Kanye was too ahead of his time. What y'all think in the comments, man. Real say shit. You already know what's going on. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Peace.